Hello everyone, this is Sagar Wagh and I'm here to present the most common topics in as simple way as possible. Today's chapter is structural design patterns and we are going to see adapter pattern. Why adapter pattern is a structural design pattern? Because it makes two incompatible structures as compatible ones. Every design pattern is meant to solve a problem. So which problem does adapter pattern solve? Let's take a look at it. Consider a use case where we want to build a downloader that, given a file name, downloads it from the cloud. We are going to start with the core layer where we have an interface iDownloader. This interface exposes a method download which has file name as an input parameter and byte array as an output type. Next, we are going to create our consumer class and we are going to name it as downloader app. This class is now going to have its own method, say download resume. It will accept the file name and it will respond back with the byte array. Download resume method, when invoked, will try to create the instance of iDownloader. Once the instance is created, it will then invoke the download method of the downloader. Once downloader returns the file, the download resume will exit and the file will be returned back to the caller. Please take a note that for downloader app, the logic to download the file is an abstraction. The iDownloader interface hides that implementation behind the scene. The downloader app only cares about ensuring the right file name is being passed to the downloader. Let's say we have a third-party project that exposes a class Google Drive. This class has two methods. First one is the sign-in method that creates an authentication token for you. And the second method is the download method, which, given an authentication token and a file name, downloads it from the Google Drive. In our application, we want to use this Google Drive as the downloader, but it clearly indicates that this Google Drive is not compatible with the downloader app. It has its own methods, own set of logic that mandates the sign-in should happen first before you actually download. Now, considering this compatibility issue, how do we manage to make these two different entities compatible with each other? Before we come to any solution, let's try to note down all the problems that we have observed so far. Problem number 1. Consumer and provider are incompatible because both of them follows different protocol. Problem number 2. Provider can have its own set of steps to be executed before it gets consumed. These steps can vary provider to provider. Problem number 3. To consume provider, compatibility code cannot be added inside the consumer code. If we do so, if provider changes in future, consumer will have to be refactored to support that change. Problem number 4. To consume provider, compatibility code cannot be added inside the provider code. If we do so, if any new consumer comes in future, the provider will have to be refactored to support this new consumer as well as all the previous consumers. Too many problems, isn't it? I know what you are thinking now. If the consumer cannot have the compatibility code, if the provider cannot have the compatibility code, who should have it? Well, here comes the adapter pattern. Whenever two parties which are incompatible and wants to collaborate with each other, adapter pattern will ensure that they are compatible and can communicate by transferring messages from one party to another in the format they are expecting. Simple, isn't it? So let's try to create an adapter now. We are going to create a Google adapter which implements iDownloader interface. The download method implemented by Google Adapter will ensure that all the steps required by Google Drive are executed in a sequence. It will ensure that the authentication token has been generated and the download method is being called using the same authentication token. And at the end, the file received from the Google Drive, the Google adapter will convert it to the byte array and then respond back to the consumer class, that is downloader app. Now let's try to present the adapter design pattern as a block diagram. We have seen three different components throughout this tutorial. The first one is downloader app, the second one is Google adapter, and the third one is Google Drive. Google adapter ensures that the input of downloader app is being converted to input of Google Drive, and the output of Google Drive is being converted to the output of downloader app. In future, the way we have implemented Google adapter, similarly, we can build the Dropbox adapter. The Dropbox adapter will have its own logic to download the file, but it will be still an adapter, converting inputs and outputs based on the consumer and the provider. Well, looks like the adapter is a lifesaver for both the incompatible parties. Pretty good, right? So let's take a moment to note down advantages of using adapter pattern. First one, adapter pattern makes two different entities compatible with each other. Point number 2, consumer code and the provider code can reside independently without worrying about how to interact with each other. Point number 3, adapter pattern helps to achieve single responsibility principle because consumer has to worry about consumer code only and the provider code has to worry about provider code only. That's amazing. The other examples where adapter pattern can be useful. You can create an adapter to connect with external cloud APIs. You can also create an adapter to consume new framework from the old framework or vice versa. You can also create an adapter to convert text into an audio. Now you must have a question that when should I use adapter pattern? Well, for that you have to ask two questions to yourself. First one, do you have an existing or a third-party class whose interface is not compatible with the rest of the code? Or do you have different frameworks that need to interact with each other? If answer to any of these questions is yes, then you should use adapter pattern. Well, that's it. I hope this was helpful and now you understand the adapter pattern. And as I always say, this is just a starter video. You have so much to learn, so much to read about all the concepts which you are studying right now. So keep reading more about this online. Try to get more hands-on experience on adapter pattern. Try to get more in-depth knowledge about adapter pattern. I will try my best to bring more and more videos on the complicated concepts and try to present it in as simple way as possible. Please subscribe for upcoming videos and do share all of them with your friends. Thank you. Thank you so much.